Okay, hold on, guys. I'll just take a quick picture so we can tweet it out after. Let's see here. Everyone look their most presentable. We'll have to Photoshop that. All right, here we go.
This is JD's podcast, JD's Rubber Boots podcast. We're gonna sit and relax and tell you all sorts of stories. Talk about life and little sports. You know we're gonna play some games. And if nothing else, you know we're gonna have a laugh. We're gonna have a laugh, oh yeah. 'Cause this is the podcast.
Isolation Quarantine Podcast Edition 2. I'm looking at my little screen here, and Puffy's taking up half the screen in a rectangle, and then Lester's in a circle, and then Stoff is in a little circle as well. It's something we call Skype. I have learned this week that I always thought technology was going to be my downfall.
Saracana.
At some point, we had to get technical in our jobs, that this would expose me, and it truly has. It hasn't been pretty. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the Rubber Boots Podcast. Hi, Puffy. How are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. You're sitting in your car outside some apartment complex. Are you buying drugs?
Yes.
It's buying toilet paper.
Hi, Lester. How are you? Are you wearing a tracksuit?
I am wearing a tracksuit. I'm comfortable. I'm hanging out. It's cool, man. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you, Stoff? Everything good?
Doing well.
So it started this week with technology is now kind of crucial to know your way around things like Zoom and Skype. And my mother, my mother's 87, and she lives alone at her cottage. She's got lots of friends around there. And so obviously we've been trying to talk every day, and we were trying to hook up a family Zoom connection with my mom. And it was the greatest comedy show on television not on television for 3 straight nights, because we would get on the call and it would be just like this, where you could see everybody, and then you couldn't see Mom, and she'd be going, I can't see y'all. I can't see you anywhere. And so my niece would be like, Nana, touch the screen, and there's a little camera button in the middle. I don't see. All I got is a red button. There's a red button. Oh no, that means when I sense the red button, I lose you all. So this went on for 3 days. And Puffy called me on Skype just before this podcast, and he said, I can't see you. I said, Puffy, there's a little camera button on the screen, and he said, oh, and there he was.
So basically, I have the technical know-how of people born in the 1930s.
So I had the same deal with my mom the other night. Couldn't find the camera on her phone, and it reminded me of an old Jay Leno bit, because his thing was old people were afraid of technology. Like, don't use the remote control; you might start a fire.
So I can laugh at you and my mom, Puff, but we're doing these things. We're doing insider trading and the quiz. And originally, I got sent this massive package earlier this week by our buddy Nick Caroli, and it was this DeGero. For our listeners, it's this thing that basically you can broadcast out of your house. So I got a tripod. I'm going to show it to you guys. I got a microphone. I got a lighting stand.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got all these things I got to hook up together, an earpiece. And I was scared as hell, because there was like 19 boxes. So Caroli spent about 2 hours on the phone for me to get this hooked up. And then the next day, TSN decided, I think wisely, to send everybody home because of the situation. And so now we can't use that anymore, because it required somebody to edit it at the station. I know Stoff is probably still one of the few guys. You're still working at the station, Stoff?
Yep. Send me your DeGero feed, Duffy.
Stoff will be doing everything soon. But I guess they sent the control room staff home. So now we're doing these things on Skype. So Billy, our fine producer, says, okay, we're doing the quiz, and we need you. You're going to be the one who does it on Skype. So you have to call everybody and record it. And I'm going, I don't know. I just started Skype last week, and Christoph had to call me. I just downloaded it. And so we sat there. So you imagine, you have Jeff O'Neill in his place, and Bob and Pooley and me. And for an hour, the other guys are on the phone trying to explain to me how to set this thing up. And I can see Bob and Jeff, and you could see their patience slowly dissipating into the universe as I'm going, well, wait a second, but I can't, what does this button do here? I can't record it. And O-Dog's face. If I could have done a time lapse of O-Dog's face over that entire hour. And so finally Billy ends up trying to like Skype us all in and recording it himself. So we do the entire quiz and then it didn't record. So we have to I have to call them all back and get them back in position. The only thing is nobody has an excuse anymore about saying, I'm busy, I can't do that, because we all know that everybody's stuck at home and has nothing else to do. So we survived. I was very proud of myself.
Good job.
And today I have to record an interview with Brendan Shanahan, so we'll see how that goes, if I can Skype Shanny in or not.
So are you in charge of that?
Apparently I am.
Because he won't be as patient as those two.
No, I think I have it figured out now. I have it figured out, so I'll be okay. What else is going on? What's everybody been doing all week? I know Stoff has still been working away. Apparently the oldie person left at TSN. Puffy, how was your weekend with the family in Prince Edward County?
It was good. We went to the sandbanks and we social distanced from as many people as possible and ran up hills and did that stuff and then drank a lot at the cottage. And then we came back and now all we do now is we have like a little bit of a school thing going with the kids and then lots of stuff in the yard and lots of drinking.
Wait a second.
So what are you learning?
What is a little bit of a school thing? What does that mean?
Well, we started off with 30 minutes of reading, then 30 minutes of math on the computer. That one's run by the guy on the computer. And then I do gym class.
Nice.
And then they do independent study. And then we do lunch. And then the afternoon is more independent study.
So are you on recess right now?
So I do gym class and video game class. Those are my 2 days. So
you should open an independent learning school when you're done.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, do it over Skype online.
So yeah, my Gracie's in full class now. She has class every day. She'll come down and go outside running for half an hour during gym class. Brooks here, I have to make her lunch now because at her little cushy school they have this beautiful cafeteria. So now she expects lunch exactly at 12:15 or something.
Wow!
So
nice.
Did you see? I meant to send this to you, and maybe you can find it and insert it stuff. But this dad, I think from Ireland or Scotland. And I'm not so good with the accents. And he did a post with his daughter, and he was almost in tears. And he's just like, I just want to say, I'm so sorry to all my teachers that I ever had because I'm going through hell. I can't handle it. She's driving me crazy. And you can see he's got about a 5-year-old who just keeps kind of crawling on top of him during the shot. And he's like,
oh, God.
She's a devil. I'll take it anywhere. I'll pay anyone anything to take her off my hands.
Apology to every teacher that's ever taught me. The respect I have for you is unreal. Because 3 days into teaching this child, and I already want to introduce corporal punishment. I want to suspend her. I want to expel her. Minimum transfer to another school. I can't be dealing with it. Next on the list for today is Irish. Irish. I'm struggling with English. How am I supposed to do Irish?
You reap what you sow, literally, right?
How you doing, Lester? Everything all right?
Everything's okay. Listen, we're just still working, quite busy with TSN, man. It's busy, but I'm working on some music as well, and hopefully we can share that as a group.
Or what are we talking about? Some original tunes,
yes,
or what?
An original song. It will be an original Rubber Boots podcast video.
I'm looking forward to that. It's funny to watch everybody. It's one thing for us to do this podcast on Skype, and Stoff does a great job, and we'll probably edit out all the things that sound stupid. But man, watching people do TV shows. My wife, for whatever reason, I'm not a fan of Kelly and Ryan. I mean, I don't mind the people, but I don't like that show. But that's her go-to show every day, and they're doing that show from home. And I watched about 15 minutes of it yesterday, and they had a delay, the same sort of issue we have sometimes with two people talking over each other. And it was the entire show. And this is a show watched by whatever, probably 15 million people. And it was just painful to watch.
He's been chewing. He's been slurping. He's been chewing. He's breathing next to me right now.
Talking over each other for about 3 minutes straight. And this is like network TV shows. This is their only option right now, right? This is the world we're in for who knows how long.
Except for the news channels, this is like huge ratings for them. They got to be just killing it.
They can't go anywhere. Although I'm starting to see some like weather people and stuff doing it from their houses. But how long can you have full newsrooms of the normal anchors and Lisa LaFlamme's doing her thing every night? But I'm sure a lot of people are on remote, but kudos to them and everybody who's out there working right now. Let's get right 100%. To what you're watching, seeing that's all anybody's doing right now is watching.
What you're watching, just between you and me, what you're streaming on your TV, let me see. What you're watching, action, drama, comedy, what you're streaming on your TV.
Are any of you guys watching Tiger King yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. That's all I hear about, though.
I have not seen it, no.
Yeah, that seems to be the show right now, so it is on my to-watch list.
What have you been doing? I mean, I know Puffy's got to teach his video game and phys ed classes, and Lester's got to make music, and Christoph's got to make radio, but what are you doing with your other hours of the day?
I just finished Jack Ryan. Ryan, I just finished last night.
Did he make it out of Central America?
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Yes, he did. That was unbelievable. 2 great seasons. I want season 3 tomorrow. Come on, Amazon.
Yeah, it was pretty damn good. So Tiger King, you know what? I won't spend a lot of time on it. I'd rather you guys watch and talk next week. You're right. Everybody's talking about it. I know I recommended it to O-Dog. He didn't like it. He thought it was overrated. When a show gets hyped this much, it gets a little bit crazy. I would just say it's and that it's true. But it is just the first 3 episodes in particular. It's just you just can't you think you're done, and it just keeps getting nuttier and nuttier because every character they introduce, and it's true, right? It's basically a reality show documentary about people that have large cat zoos in the States, right? People that have tigers and lions in those chintzy little half-ass zoos in the U.S. But all of the people are literally nuts. Every single character is nuts. And then it gets into murder and missing people, and it's insane. But
does the murder involve tiger cats?
You had Puffy at murder.
What do you mean?
Do the cats, like the big tigers, eat the people?
Well, it's possible. We don't know. I don't want to give away too much. But I should shout out to one of our listeners who sent me this before I even watched the show, and I didn't even know what he was talking about till I watched Tiger Cats. But there is one really rich guy, and this is a clip from one of his groundskeepers or something, talking about all the money he has and what he does with it.
15 years, but knew him much longer than that. And you'd have to know Don to know his properties. He liked to hide his stuff. Like he would hide money, bury money. Hide gold bars, bury the gold bars.
Honestly, this show sounds fantastic.
Listen, you've got murder and you've got gold bars. What else could Puffy want?
Exactly.
No, if it was on an island, it would be perfect.
Well, we'd be suing them if it was on an island.
So I don't like to give you guys homework, but watch at least the first 3 episodes or so of Tiger King. But because I'm sure a lot of our listeners have watched it, and if you haven't, to our listeners, watch a little bit, and we'll talk about it in more detail next week.
How many episodes is it?
7 episodes total.
Oh, that's not bad.
They're probably about 45 minutes each, so it's about a 5-hour haul. McMillions is another one I've been watching. Do you guys know that story?
Yes, that's about the Monopoly, right?
Right. So basically between, I don't know, around 2000 to whatever it was, 2010 or whenever, you guys all remember the McDonald's Monopoly game?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I listened to a podcast about this before the documentary was done, but essentially nobody legitimately won that game for about 10 years because this guy, again, I won't do too much spoiler, but it's pretty obvious from the beginning. One guy, I won't say who it is, who was connected to it, basically stole all the winning pieces and through the mob, like gave them away to various people. So literally, maybe in Canada it was different. Maybe Canada ran a different game. But in the States, there were basically no legitimate winners of that game for a decade.
I loved that game.
Every piece, like you couldn't win.
That's not true. I got a free small fries once. So the mob didn't get me.
But they were, again, I'm going to be accused of spoilers now. So
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Go forward 30 seconds if you don't want to hear it. But they were so dumb about it. Like basically they gave like this one guy who ran this ring, they'd give it to his niece and then his brother-in-law, anybody who had a different name. So once the cops did get onto it, it was so easy to connect the damn thing. Anyway, just a crazy story. Goes a little too slow. Like the doc is not the best, but the story is worth it if you hang out because, again, it has crazy characters. Anything else you guys are watching I should know about?
No. Oh, there's a show called
High... Wait to contribute.
There's a show called High Fidelity. It features Zoe Kravitz. She's the star of it. She maintains a record store. It's based on a movie. I just found this out last night, but it's pretty good. Not bad.
John Cusack.
It's based on that John Cusack movie, yeah.
Oh,
By the way, John Cusack, unbelievably good-looking guy.
I just think he's talented, but you got to take it there.
Lester, that's why we love you. Stoff, you watch?
Am I allowed to say what I'm watching, or is it like last week?
You are, but
I watched a BBC show called Killing Eve. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. So it's about a serial killer and a detective, and they become obsessed with one another. There's 2 seasons. I watched them both. I think seasons 3 and 4 are renewed. So a very good series.
Nice.
So Stoff, I watched about 4 episodes on a long plane ride. Is that Sandra Oh in it?
I'm not good with actor names. I just know what they look like Lester.
Asian Canadian actress?
Yes, I think that is.
Yeah, she went to my high school, Gloucester High School.
Did she really?
To the Gators.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be her.
Yeah. I believe so.
Actress.
Yeah, that's her. I just Googled her. Yeah, she's the detective in the series.
I guess she's more famous than you.
The people that went to my high school, Norm Macdonald, comedian.
Norm Macdonald?
Aaron Ward, hockey player, and me. My photo is the largest on the Gloucester High School Wall of Fame. I'm not going to be judgmental, but it's pretty clear. Who's the biggest. Oh, Horst Bulau, ski jumper. I put me behind him.
You're 5 now.
5. Horst. Let's get to things that I saw on Twitter, which Stoff puts together for us.
Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes. All of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
This could start becoming our entire podcast because we have so much time to be on Twitter and these things these days. Stoff has compiled another compelling list. The Tim Hortons sprayer. Have you guys seen this? It's more visual than anything else, but basically a guy going through the Tim Hortons drive-thru and spraying his coffee with sanitizer like nobody's business.
Spraying like the outside of it? Please,
the whole thing.
So basically, the cup is still on the ledge of the drive-thru window, and he's spraying the entire cup for a solid minute.
Wow.
Including the lid. Then he grabs the lid, throws it inside the Tim Hortons, and drives off with his coffee.
What an ass.
Yeah.
Why would you even bother going to Tim Hortons?
I would say Brooksy. So Brooksy had about 8 organic sanitizers when we went down to Turks and Caicos, and she had this one in particular that was lavender. And the poor girl with us, Gracie's friend, I think she's going to have PTSD about lavender smell her entire life because every time we walked out, Brooksy would spray lavender all over our bodies.
Oh God!
But she didn't do it at a drive-through window.
Do you trust the organic stuff at this point?
You have to look. I did ask her that question. It has to be 51% alcohol or whatever, right, to make it effective. And so as long as it's that, I trust it. But I would say you're right. There's certain things when it comes to sanitizers or cleaners that I think you sacrifice effectiveness for organics. And I think at a time like this, you better go for the effectiveness. Correct?
Agreed.
Yes.
100%. 100%.
This horse with no name video, again, we try not to do too many visual things, but I think I retweeted it on my account. You can go back and check if you haven't seen it. People are so damn creative. Basically, the girl has long hair. She goes at the back and bends over. This is going to sound sexual. It's not. Facing the camera. She's got her hair down and sort of bobs her hair up and down. And the boyfriend faces the other way and has a cowboy hat on, and he bobs up and down. And it looks like you're looking at a horse from the back end. Well, horse with no name place. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The British sports commentator, I love this. I was watching Doc. That's so funny.
That was great. There was no follow-up there whatsoever.
I keep presenting something for you guys to say something, and nobody says anything.
That was pretty great. Yep.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I too enjoyed that.
Move on. What a bunch of morons. Maybe you guys might want to chime in at some point. Play this British sports commentator who's commentating on life because he has no footy to talk about.
So this, the international 4x4 pushchair formation final. And, we've got the up front pair, of course, are Johansson and Eriksson from Sweden, and they're in with the Brits here in Smith and Black, and they're doing particularly well of staying quite close with them around this very delicate bend. Of course, they're pretty familiar with this course, and, that's what saw them become European champions just a few months ago. Great to see them back.
Stop. Could you, for our listeners, describe the video we were seeing there?
So it's basically 4 women walking with baby strollers through a park, and they're just literally walking around the bend, and he's commentating on them. It's awesome. And he's got a whole bunch of these videos out, so I guess we'll tweet one out and people can see it.
That's terrific.
I saw, yeah. Thanks for that add-on.
I enjoyed that.
Really, really well done.
Joe Buck's doing it too.
Oh yeah, Joe Buck's asking for videos from people, right?
Yeah.
How many people do you think are sending him porn?
A lot.
Commentate
Homemade
this,
porn.
Joe.
We'll see you tomorrow night. No, that was his dad. Doc Emmerich did one. Some guy was installing his windshield wipers, and Doc Emmerich did play-by-play of that. We need some Gord Miller, Chris Cuthbert doing those things, wouldn't you say?
Did you see that?
I had to install my windshield wipers. It is not fun. Those things are hard as hell.
Yeah, you can really hurt your fingers.
I know.
It looks like it should be just simple, like snap in, snap out. No.
No, not at all.
It took me about 14 YouTube videos and about 2.5 hours.
The last time I tried to do that, I thought I got it in, and I was driving down the DVP, and it just went flying off in the middle of snow. God, somewhere in the valley.
It killed
Dave Naylor baked a cake. You'd have to look up this on Dave Naylor's Twitter account. It's the most pathetic cake probably I've ever seen. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
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 Thank you again for your commentary.
For people who can't see it, the cake is completely caved in. And it was a birthday cake for his girlfriend, I believe. So, happy birthday.
Puffy, you might be our expert on this one because you're a TMZ guy. Brooksy was trying to explain yesterday the whole Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian feud. Have you been following this?
Yes, I have been. About 4 years ago, Kanye came out with a song, and he basically ripped Taylor Swift in it, but he said he had her permission to rip her in it, and then she said he didn't. But then Kim Kardashian put out video of the phone call they had, which made it seem like she did give permission, but it was an edited version of the phone call, and the full phone call came out, and now it appears that the permission was not really granted. And both sides are not happy about it.
The song in question is called Famous, and in it I believe Kanye says,
I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that famous. Goddamn. I made that famous.
Wow.
And in the phone call, he tells her about half the line, but he doesn't tell her about calling her a which is what Taylor later revealed.
It's kind of weird that she said yes in the first place to him calling and saying, hey, can I do a line about me sleeping with you in the song? And she was like, no problem with that. Just don't call me a
She was trying to be a good sport about it, I guess. But like in the great scheme of things, at this point, 4 years later and where we are right now, who gives a
Well, I think it's time for Sirius Lester on that.
Well, I was just going to say that, for me, I never heard of Taylor Swift before Kanye.
Same here.
That whole Kanye thing. And so
Really?
He's absolutely 100%. He did make her famous.
No, that is BS. If you had
I'm sorry.
She had like 4 hit albums by then.
No. She was not the
She
star
won like
she is.
Academy Awards. Everyone froze. Hello?
Unless you're a 14-year-old girl at that time, you don't know who she is.
Exactly. We still got you, Puff.
I'm telling you, I had no idea until he ripped the mic from her hand.
I'm gonna let you finish. To me, that's when she I never heard of her. I'm sorry, me personally, I never heard of her.
Same here.
You had never heard of her?
No,
she was huge. She was huge by then.
But she was in the country genre and only the country genre, Jimmy.
Yeah.
By the time we got to now, she made one record in 1989 and transferred over to pop, and that's when she got huge. But that was after the Kanye situation.
No, I'm not buying that for a second.
I'm not saying I like it. I don't like it. I don't like what he did. I think it's terrible, and I don't have any time for Kanye at all. But on that point, he's 100% correct as far as I'm concerned. If you look at her numbers before and after,
well, who's to say that has anything to do with that?
Yeah,
but it does.
She was already a huge rising star, so
no, that event blew her up completely.
She was a rising star, but it's like I'm gonna make an analogy. It's like the Beatles and LSD. The Beatles were the Beatles, but when they took LSD, their songwriting went off the charts. It went light years ahead of where it was. Kanye to what's her name? Taylor Swift is Beatles to LSD to the Beatles. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think any of us expected him to say that.
Or it's like when Lester finally admitted sleeping with those 2 groupies. He suddenly went from boom to boom.
Hey, listen, I made them.
They have a story to tell now.
This is my favorite thing from Twitter from the week. This is I got to get his name down. J.L. Coven, is that correct? I think that's how you say it. And he has something called the Trump Pod, but he's a Trump impersonator. And we've had good Trump impersonators over the last 3 years. But this guy is next level. Sit and listen to this minute and a half.
250 years ago, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, whose full name, he was Jewish, so his full name might have been like Christowitz, but God rose him from the dead on a holiday we now call Easter. Not a lot of people know that, but it's called Easter. It's when Jesus and the 2 Corinthians met the Easter bunny and came back from the dead. It's a beautiful story. Very important for the Christians like me. And I have decided, I'm announcing today, we are going to bring back the economy on Easter Sunday. Because God, who, to be honest, is, he's a good God. He's done some strong things. Let's be honest, his record is not so great though. He brought one guy back on Easter Sunday, and it was his son, so it was kind of biased. But we're going to bring back the entire economy on Easter Sunday. And at that point, I think basically I'm better than God. So when we do it, we're going to do it toughly. We're going to do it with great compassion, great strength, tremendous strength, and also toughness. Easter Sunday, we're going to put it on pay-per-view. God versus Trump. Who brings back more people on Easter Sunday? We're doing it. I'm going to fire Fauci probably on Good Friday. And they call it Great Friday for Trump. And that's it. So let's do it. Let's get perfect health. Let's get back to work. Jesus Christ, not as good as Trump.
That is awesome. He nailed it.
Oh man.
The scary part is that actually could be real. Like he would talk like that.
100%. 100%.
Like that's what he thinks.
With great toughness, with great compassion.
He has every little nuance.
He nailed it.
Of a Trump news conference down 100%.
He's so good.
Absolutely.
He's so good.
God brought back one guy. I'm going to bring everyone back. And it was his son. So it's not that great. Anyway,
let's be honest.
JC Coben, who I'm going to have to listen to the Trump pod if he does more impersonations like that. My other favorite thing from the Twitter this week, this guy is happily, I don't know if he's remarried, but he's got a love of his life that he's with and in a happy relationship. But when you play Coldplay on your guitar and put it out on Twitter in black and white,
that's a thirst trap.
This is our beloved Ryan Rashad throwing a little love on Twitter.
Come up to meet you, tell you I'm sorry. You don't know how lovely you are. I had to find you, tell you I need you, tell you I'll set you apart. Tell me your secrets, ask me your questions. Oh, let's go back to the start.
Now, first of all, Lester, not bad, right?
Hey, listen, I was very impressed. I didn't know he had that skill set, so he's not just a hat rack, okay?
Rashad, when you say Puffy, with his little car commercial with his dog in it and his music, has shown a variety of talents over the last couple of months.
He might be Canada's version of Matthew McConaughey. Like anyone who would do a car commercial like that with no shame and then put out a little, you could see McConaughey on the bongos just pounding it out there for the ladies, and that felt very McConaughey by Michelle.
And he's playing piano at the same time for you listeners who haven't seen it. The only thing, if he'd have done it shirtless, it would have been just like, okay, uncle.
Matthew McConaughey. Hey.
He did a terrific job with it. My only issue is he hashtagged it as social distance boredom. And I see a lot of people doing this, and it's like, no, dude, you're just trying to show off your talent. And it's great because the internet's full of it now, and we have something to watch. So
he needs to write a song that's "Stay Down, I Got This."
Oh yeah. He should have just played that at the end.
Just stay down. I got this.
Let's get to Puffy's hypotheticals.
Puffy's hypotheticals. Who really gives a crap? All the ladies want to hear is the Rod Smith recap. Blah, 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 blah. Roddy is the best. The best.
Okay, so if, while in quarantine, if we could bring back one sport, but that would mean all the other sports are gone for 5 years, which sport would you bring back right now?
The NFL. Football, right away.
Didn't take long.
Bring it back right now.
Hey, if you have to be quarantined with your wife or BB. That's exactly what just happened there.
So Puffy.
Well done.
This sport is not just back on television. So people are allowed to go to the games. It's back fully, but no other sports for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I have to pick hockey because that's 80% of my livelihood.
Yeah, probably be a smart move by you and your family.
Well, plus I love hockey. But are you talking about, does playing become involved as well? Because I need my golf.
Ooh.
When you say it's
any golf for 5 years, because you like to watch that weekend golf there, Jimmy.
Could you play golf?
No, we're going to say for this particular circumstance, no.
Right. Wow. So, and if you're a hockey fan, you can't play beer league. If you pick something else like NFL, you can't play beer league hockey or anything.
So that sport still can be done. Stoff is staying by his football.
Yeah, there's no chance. I'm not moving off this.
I have to take hockey because it's my lane. Like I said, I do CFL and some NFL and some golf, but hockey's 80% of what I do. So I got to take the puck.
If you pick the golf, you probably could get all the majors, Jimmy.
All 4 of them.
Yeah. I would go hockey, golf, football in that order as my big 3. Buffy, yours?
I also, for financial reasons, would have to choose hockey. I love the kids' hockey. I wouldn't be giving up the kids' hockey. So
yeah, I get that. Lester?
Oh, listen, I'll tell you, the one thing I miss right now most is being able to play hockey. So, yes, I agree. Hockey, 100%. I hope we find a way to come back this year. While we're here, I just want to say, very sorry to hear about the cancellation of the CHL season. Peterborough Pete's in particular, we're having an unbelievable year this year, and unfortunately, that's all for naught. So, and listen, let's not forget, these are kids. Not only are we talking about kids who are probably have NHL aspirations, but they're out of school, number one now, and now you're out of hockey. So, just hang in, everybody.
Well said, Lester. Stoff, you answered that question so quickly. Could you live without all the other sports?
I wouldn't want to. I'm definitely feeling a void in terms of sports right now, but if you're asking me to pick one, I'd pick the NFL, even though it is the shortest season and it would be on, I guess, 3 times a week, but I'd still take it. For me, nothing compares to those Sundays.
What would be your number 2?
The current state, probably the NBA, and then I'd go puck after that.
Lester, what would be your number 2 and 3?
2 and 3, probably basketball next, and then I would say Greco-Roman wrestling.
Ooh. Going old school, I like it.
A big Greco guy.
Because not only are they talented, but man, they are hot.
Archery, also underrated.
Yes. No,
gentlemen,
I'd say baseball, actually. My third. Yeah.
Baseball would be way down my list. Number 9.
As far as I'm concerned, they could never play baseball again.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We thanked some of the doctors and nurses last week. I've been trying to do that all week, sending some videos out to people too. And have you guys been out? I don't know, in your neighborhoods, do people come out at a certain time, 7 o'clock or 7:30, and bang ring bells and bang things together for the health workers? Is that caught on down where you guys live yet?
No, it's news to me.
I had a guy do that last night. He won't be doing that again. I told him to shut the up and get inside. I'm just kidding. Can you imagine New York City? Thank you, everybody. Yo, shut the up. I'm trying to watch TV. I got my children here now. I'm working on my last nerve. I got 6 children here. I'm trying to feed you, making all sorts of goddamn noise outside. What the is wrong with you, mother?
Just coming outside at the same time, at a coordinated time, just seems like a bad idea with the quarantining and all.
Yeah, we're social distancing.
No, I mean, it's unbelievable. Vancouver, everybody comes. Vancouver's a condo city, right? Especially downtown. Everybody is outside at, I don't know if it's 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and the noise is like, you can hear it. The entire downtown is really loud, which is really cool. So we started doing it on our street, which is, I think only Puffy's been up here. It's a quiet little court with only about 8 houses, and there's a retired couple named Dick and June. We're both in their 70s.
You said June.
Lester's on fire today.
Lester came alive in the last 5 minutes of this podcast.
I think he woke up.
So Dick and June are in their 70s, and they sent a little email out to the neighbors saying, hey, we should come out at 7:30 and do this. And so we went out the first night, and it was just me and Brooksy and Dick and June. That was it. And so I was banging pots together, but Brooksy's gotten really into this. And I think Darian is fascinated by us, so she films us. We have this thing called, I think it's a didgeridoo or didgeroo. Have you ever heard
didgeridoo? Like a long tune?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a didgeridoo,
So Brooksy,
Australian, original
I'll
instrument.
send this to you, Stoff, and you can insert it right now. This is me banging pots and singing, and Brooksy playing the didgeridoo. So this is our new ritual, 7:30 every night, to give our love to the doctors and the nurses and everybody filling the grocery stores, all the people out there. The front lines, everybody uses that expression, man. The front lines are extensive these days as to people taking chances with their health to make sure we're okay. So we thank you all again. It was good basically looking at Puffy's face for an hour, and tiny little Lester and tiny little Stoff. But we'll try to keep doing this for you. Anybody else want to say anything before we go? Lester, I don't want to cut you off. You're kind of on fire right now.
No, I'm good. I'm good, man. Thanks very much. I'm good. Everybody just stay well and stay home, man.
Tuffy, is that a fireplace behind you, or is that one of those little walls you've done in brick, or is that a painting?
It's a little painting. A painting.
Oh,
this is
beautiful.
This is
That's
the
beautiful.
love making.
Excuse me?
This is where the love making happens.
This is your bedroom?
Is it also where you're going to be teaching sex ed?
Hey.
Like, who knows how long this goes?
Not for a couple years.
Hey, could you show me your bed?
Hold on. Got it? Can you see it?
Ooh, yeah.
Now, Puffy, turn off the lights and put the blue light on.
Oh God, there's way too much lotion in that bed.
Thanks for listening, folks. See you next week on the Rubber Boots Pod.
Jimmy, you look better than I thought you would. It looks more manly than I thought. I thought you were going to be a little wispier.
Is that a tomato juice can you're drinking there?
Sort of, yeah.
Huh.
I'm getting in really good shape. That's what I'm doing.
What did I miss there?
Well, normally people.
You said Dick in June,
Yeah.
and he started laughing and said, "You said June."
I'm sorry, Mr. Larkin, Miss Faye. I'm sorry, really am.
I'd like to apologize to the Queen.
Hey, how are you? I got a question that I really wanna ask you. Wait, don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? I know it's a little strange, my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. I know that you're on TV, but I need you to put your boots up on the desk for me. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? This is the part they call the bridge. A bridge has water under it. With rubber boots you can wade in the water. Just don't fall in. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like a dunk tank at the fair? Do you like the dunk tank at the fair? The dunk tank at the fair. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? No, seriously. Are you wearing your rubber boots? Don't hang up. Please. Somebody. Hey? Anyone?